All right, so welcome to the Agent First Summit, where we come together every single Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central to grow our business. This month, for the month of April, we are talking video creation. We've had Kyle Draper, who is an excellent video creation coach, kick off our series. Next week, we're going to have Connor Murnane, who is out of California, a phenomenal creator. He works with top tier real estate professionals. And I forget who our last presenter is, but the month of April is all about video creation. So today we're going to go into creating video fast, but beyond that, we're going to go into how to actually make videos that are watchable. Now, to understand where we are in our video creation um, journey, in the chat, please, 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 without exception, let me know in the chat if how many videos you have published in the last 7 days. I'm going to gear this more towards YouTube. You can adopt it to Instagram, you can adopt it to TikTok, but this presentation today is going to be more about on the YouTube side of things. It's all going to be about video creation, but I'm going to adapt it more to YouTube because that's where the biggest friction that I see with real estate agents happens to be. But again, you can adopt it into TikTok. You can adopt this workflow into LinkedIn, anywhere that you a video is to be published, you can absolutely do that. So in the last 7 days, how many videos have you published? I'll be honest, for me, it's been zero, and that's rare. That's rare for me. It's been a challenging week, but we're gonna make a comeback, and then we're gonna do 20 in a week. So not too concerned about it. All right, so we have 1, 0, 1 question mark. Did it just not publish, Laura? Did it was it on draft? 5, 0, 0, 2, 1, 0. But this is the last time I say that. I like that, the conviction. 1, 1. Awesome. 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 So for those of you that just arrived, we're going to be using the following template. What you're seeing on the screen right now, please make sure that you have access to it. Again, the last thing I'll say about this is once you click on this link, if you have never seen what you're seeing on the screen right now, it's going to go straight into a page that will say on the top right hand side where it says duplicate. Make sure that you duplicate this thing that you're seeing on the screen right now, this template that you're seeing, into your particular Notion page, which is free for you to use. Now, if you're part of Creator Agents, which is our YouTube service, then this is not new to you. A lot of this is already there for you to use, but we're gonna adopt the entire workflow, and we're gonna introduce some AI so you get additional benefit from what you're already doing. All right, so we're gonna go super, super quick, and there's gonna be some gaps in here that you're gonna need to fill out later. But number one, you need to understand who you're speaking to. This is one of the things that has killed so many of my YouTube channels, not understanding who my audience was. Understanding who I'm speaking to is, at this point, any channel that I launch, I just cannot go past this step. If I do, I end up just falling on my face. So I highly encourage you to have clarity on who it is that you're speaking to. If you're speaking to that first time home buyer, then you're going to have different conversations with that individual. If you're speaking to that investor, you're going to have different conversations with that investor. You know this in practice, you know this in real life, where somebody that is calling you, that's asking you to help them purchase their 10th property, like Laura Vane really specializes on investors. He speaks to investors radically different than the first time home buyers, right? And we all do. So just having clarity on who you're speaking to right out of the gate is going to set you up. Even if you introduce ChatGPT, and I'll show you how to introduce ChatGPT into this world, um, uh, it's going to provide so much clarity for you, right? So if you try to speak to all, you're going to speak to none at the end of the day, especially on YouTube. So that's something that you're absolutely going to want to do. Now, I've done this in a different way. I haven't really done this with it being blank, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to introduce ChatGPT into even this. Like, we're going to introduce ChatGPT into all parts of our video creation. Now, full disclosure, I have filled in these gaps before, but I haven't actually asked ChatGPT to do this for me. right? So what we're going to do is we're going to start together right over here. Let me hit refresh so you see everything from scratch. So I am a real estate agent that is getting ready to create YouTube videos to, and your verbiage doesn't have to be the exact same. I just want you to give you the big blocks on how to actually go through and start loading up your chat GPT. Create YouTube videos that, oops, that will generate me real estate clients. I want to speak to first-time home buyers as an example. I want to speak to first-time home buyers only. Could you help me the, could you help me fill in the perfect avatar based off of these characteristics? Again, don't get so mired on my bad English. What I want you to see is how non-intimidating AI can be, and also how easy it is for you to get started. So for those of us that have had a hard time getting started, in 45 minutes, you're gonna have everything you're gonna need to know on how to actually create videos and the videos themselves so you can create them. All right, so this even does your actual work for you. In reality, you should have done this. In reality, you should know you want to speak to that 28-year-old. You want to speak to that male or female, depending on who you want to be. You want to speak to the engaged people, the newly married people, the no kid. This is all something that you would do, but ChatGPT does a really good job for you. So I'm showing you different ways to integrate ChatGPT. So even with our internal staff, when we have our meetings at 9 and 11:30 with my internal team, they can vouch for me on, and when I say that, the first answer that we go to, the first source that we go to is ChatGPT, and then we start working from there. So if I'm asking for a email sequence, if I'm asking for a funnel creation, if I'm asking for a website design, their first go-to is ChatGPT to build out the content, to build out the code, to build out the everything. This is a way for you to introduce AI into what you're doing. All right, so I'm not going to bother to go through this. I just wanted to show you this actual exercise real quick. But first things first is having clarity on who you're speaking to, creating that avatar for you so you have an idea of who you're speaking to, right? Now, since this presentation today is geared more towards YouTube, I went ahead and gave you the framework that we personally use for our descriptions that is highly optimized to get traffic, but also get you leads. So this is the exact same breakdown that we do for our creators. So if you want to, once you duplicate it into your Notion, in 1 second, let me see. Oh, I need to give you access. I'm sorry, Carmel. Okay, now your co-host, Carmel, if you could help me out with the mics. This is something that you can just copy and paste and use for your YouTube channel. Again, we're talking video primarily, but I wanted to kind of, instead of just speaking YouTube in broad sense, I wanted to give you the more complex platform of YouTube that you could easily plug into, but know that you can adopt this into TikTok, into LinkedIn, into Facebook, into Instagram, and everything in between. All right, so one, understand your avatar. ChatGPT can do it for you. This is your information. This is just a highly way for you to optimize your description on your videos. Any questions up until now? Because that was just warming up. We're about to go much, much faster. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'll do a little bit of teaching real quick, and then we're going to go right into the workflow so we can start creating videos that actually matter to us. The way that my philosophy on YouTube is that we need three types of content in order for our channel to buy us time back, convert more leads, and generate more clients. So that's essentially the three things that I need to happen with the channel that we create. Number one, we need to save time. And that's what I'm going to go into here in a little bit. But we need three types of content. One thing that it's going to help us do, it's going to save us time. YouTube, even if you get no calls from your videos, it should save you a ton of time. It should save you hours and hours every single week. The second thing that your YouTube channel should do for you and video marketing in general is convert your clients much faster. I'll show you those videos that end up doing that. And the third thing that it's going to do, which essentially if you complete the trifecta here, is it's generating you clients. Those are the three things that your YouTube channel is designed to do. Save you time, convert leads, and generate you clients. Right? So at bare minimum, you should be saving at least 5 hours a week from your YouTube channel. If you're not doing that from your YouTube channel, you're missing the opportunity at bare minimum. Now, thankfully, you have folks like Brock, who is closing a ton of clients from YouTube. Thankfully, you have Ola Franco, who gets 50 booked appointments from YouTube alone with no ad spend. That is absolutely crushing it. So thankfully you get business, right? So it's again, that's where the trifecta comes into play. But beyond that, those are three things that you're going to be doing. Now, in order to do that, I believe that there's 9 niches, 9 types of content right here. So you see three, three, and three. There's 9 types of content that help you accomplish that. So some of this content is designed to save you time. Some of this content is designed to convert clients. Some of this content is designed to generate you business, right? So if we talk about the home buying process videos, that is more to save you time. That is designed to convert clients, and that is designed to actually generate you business. It just happens to do all three. Same thing with the home selling. Property tour videos, that is more to generate you leads. Real estate market and housing updates, that's designed more to convert clients and generate you clients. That's not necessarily to save you time. Actor agent reacts videos, that's more designed to generate you leads, right? So there's all these types of content that we're talking about, but I like to put them in buckets. I like to put them in pillars. I like to put them into type of content that we can now make content decisions around. So as an example, if I were to build a YouTube channel from scratch right now, I would focus on the following 3 pillars. I would focus on home buying process videos as my first type of content because I know that's going to generate me clients. I'll just leave it like that for now. I know it's going to generate me clients. I know it's going to save me time, and I know it's going to help me convert them. Right. The second type of content that I would do if I was starting a brand new channel right now is I would focus on local city videos. That is designed to generate me leads. That is designed to generate me clients. And the third thing that I would do is I would focus on a real estate niche. For me, I love new construction. We work with national builders right now and actually launch their paid media campaigns on social media. So we just love new construction. So we work with builders, we work with agents, we work with sales reps, we work with any part of new construction we touch personally, even from the buyer side. So for me, new construction would be the niche that I would go into myself, but you can do anything in between. You can do probate, you can do short sales, you can do luxury. You can do anything that you want to specialize in, whether that's investing, whatever it is that you want to specialize in and niche in on, it's free game. But for me, it's new construction. And I know several of the folks in the audience here are in the new construction world. Let me see if Zach is on right now. So Zach closes 50 plus transactions from new construction alone from YouTube as well per year. But he focuses on new construction, right? So a big portion of his business, yes, he gets business from local city videos. Yes, he gets business from home buying process, but his main driver of business of actual people reaching out to him is new construction. All right, so for my purposes today, and again, you can choose anything you want up here. If you have any questions on the labels, we can dive into them later. But for me, I would much rather have 3 types of content so I can really focus on this type of content. And in 3 months, after I've produced a ton of videos, I can come back and see, you know what? Every time I make a local city video, I get 2 views for whatever reason. Either something's going on here that the algorithm doesn't like, maybe the way that I'm presenting isn't working, but clearly this isn't working for me. So I need to stop that type of content and either double down on the other pieces of content that I have or pillar content that I have, or replace it with one that might work a little bit better. But at that point, I don't have to scratch the entire channel. I can just focus on the part of the content that's not working for me. By me compartmentalizing these these pillars, this type of content, I'm able to make more rational, fact-based decisions than just the feel of it or having some intuition that may or may not work for me. Questions on that? All right, so that's how we start setting it up. Now let's get into the actual workflow because it's going to be the fun part for us, and we're going to introduce ChatGPT again. I'm not going to go into the videos to suggest. I'm not going to go into batching and the when to record. We did that last week, so I'm gonna bypass that for now. What I want to focus on more is how to actually use the video workflow that you have access to. So again, a quick reminder. I already dropped it in the chat, but I'll drop it in the chat one more time. So for those of you that are hopping on, you have access to it. Just duplicate this hub and you'll have access to this. Now down here, the best way to use our hub is the following. So we subscribe to the YouTube batching method. So basically, I don't create one video from beginning to end. That is not very good use of my time. I create multiple videos at once. That's going to allow me to script a few videos at once. That's going to allow me to record a few videos at once. That's going to allow me to maximize my time. So that's where the 10x title came from, on how to actually create videos so much faster. I don't want you to spend 5 hours, 6 hours trying to create one video. That's just taking too much time. So I allocate about 2 hours at most per video. Now, there's more complex videos, of course, but on average, about 2 hours should yield you a high quality video that you're going to be proud of. And that's more importantly going to generate you business. So I go through and I'll show you, we're going to go through this very, very quickly. But if we want to introduce batching to this system, here's what we're going to do. And we're going to introduce AI once again. So remember, we already have our avatar right now, right? I didn't read it. Maybe it's good. It looks fine from what I'm seeing. But what we're going to do is we're going to assume that this is the avatar that we want to use. So now what we're going to do is, excellent. Can you give me the 5 video topics that are most impactful, that will be most impactful for these first time home buyers to see? All right, and we're going to see if we agree with these. What you actually need to buy a home in 2025, not a bad video. Step by step, the first time home buyer timeline from start to finish, also not a bad video. Folks, I'm liking this. First time buyer mistakes that could cost you thousands. I like that one as well. Renting versus buying in DFW, what makes sense in 2025? Really good video. Top 3 first time buyer loan programs you probably didn't know about. Boom, we've got a really good start to our channel. Any feedback on the content that we have so far? Awesome. So you know what? We're going to actually take all of them. And we're going to fast forward real quick. Don't worry too much about getting the rest of this right now. We're going to go super quick, real quick. We're going to introduce a little bit of YouTube. I'm sorry, we're going to introduce a little bit of our personality, a little bit of our logic, a little bit of our brain. We're not going to allow ChatGPT to do everything, although it could, but it's not going to be that thought out anyway. So these are the 5 videos that we could have brainstormed on our own, but it probably would have taken us 10, 15 minutes to do so, if we're honest. These are good enough to get started. So what we're going to do now is in our brainstorming phase, give yourself 10, 15, 20 minutes to just think of videos, topics that you believe are going to be in line with these types of content. So for these, I already knew what it was going to bring out. It was going to bring the home buying process video. So it's basically creating content just for this type of pillar. So home buying process videos. That's basically what it did here, which is fine. Not a big deal, but just know that where this content pillars or the content buckets fit into the strategy that we're talking about for YouTube. So of these, what we're going to do now is we are going to bring these over here to the optimize stage. So at the optimize stage, where I used to say 3, but now we're going to answer for 4 different things. We're going to answer for traffic. It's going to be, just think of it, the 4 T's here. We're going to answer for traffic. Is there demand? Can't, like, as an example, what you actually need to buy a home in 2025. Is there demand for this type of content? In my opinion, yes, there is. Because that's the first question that you get, especially for first-time home buyers that have no idea where to start. The second thing is the thumbnail. What does my thumbnail need to look like? You need to conceptualize what it should look like before you even start your video. That is so important, and a lot of us miss it, myself included in many occasions. But if you cannot visualize what that thumbnail is going to look like and have no vision for it, then it's probably not going to perform that well. Now, sure, you might have a professional service that can edit some incredible designs for you, whether it's whoever you end up hiring to do that for you. They might have some incredible vision, but I would much rather you have your vision for what it should look like and then transmit that vision to your designers. That's something super important. The third thing is the title. So again, we're optimizing here. If at any point we can't answer for one of these 4 questions, we are stopping this video dead on its track and we're not making this video. The third thing is the title. Can we clearly articulate what this video is about within 1 sentence? If we cannot clearly articulate what this video is going to be about in 1 sentence, then you can't expect the audience to articulate it for you. Don't make that video. And then the 4th T is 30 seconds. Can you have a strong hook? Can you have a strong reason to make this video? Can you have a strong intro, basically? So can you have a strong first 30 seconds? So traffic, thumbnail, title, 30 seconds. Traffic, thumbnail, title, 30 seconds. If you cannot answer for one of these 4, stop making that video right now. Does that make sense? This is going to save you. If the better that you get at the optimized phase, you could suck at scripting. You could even suck at recording. You could even suck at editing if someone's not doing this for you. But you can overcome that, believe it or not. But if you make a video that nobody watches, doesn't matter if you have the best script, doesn't matter if you have the best recording, doesn't matter if you have the best video. If you have a video that nobody asked for, nobody cares about, there's no demand, there's no traffic for it, you are not going to actually see success on YouTube or really any platform. I know I'm zoning in on YouTube, but TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever, it's not gonna work well for you, right? So we're not gonna go through all of these right now, but let's just quickly go into the ones that we want to continue pushing forward. What you actually need to buy a home in 2025. That's a very important thing. I do think that it has the traffic. We can visualize the thumbnail. We can articulate the title, and I have a pretty good sense I would be able to create a very, very, very strong hook. So the first 30 seconds. So I'm not going to go through and create that for all of these, but I just want to quickly walk us through the rest of the flow. Step by step, the first time home buyer timeline from start to finish. Let's just say this one, I think it's a fine video. I don't think it's the best video in the world. But for me, if I were to filter this through the 4 T's, I would say that the traffic is not there. I would feel that the traffic is probably not going to be enough for me to justify making this video for right now. So for me, I would actually stop this dead in this tracks, and then I would just archive it and hide it and be done with it. I wouldn't delete it. I want you to keep receipts and things of that nature so you can come back and see all the things that you've thought about before. So anyway, that's a different philosophy. Just want to give you kind of an idea. First time buyer mistakes that could cost you thousands. I like this video. This video can be used as my what I call a workflow video that I could send after I go into contract with one of these buyers. So then I don't have one of them going out and getting brand new credit. I don't have somebody out there and getting a brand new car and costing me a 8, 10, 12, $15,000 commission. Right. So this is a video that I would create, not because it has a ton of traffic. I think the traffic is there, but more because I want to use it as a video that will help me convert my clients, that will help me get to the finish line, that will help me in more workflow. So I don't have to spend 30 minutes explaining to them how to actually um, not F this transaction up. That makes sense. So we're going to bring this over here. Renting versus buying in DFW. What makes sense in 2025? For the sake of this example, we're just going to say the rest of them ended up working, right? So we brainstormed a few ideas. We put this through our filter of the traffic, the thumbnail, the title, 30 seconds. Now, in reality, you should be going in here and creating the I'll show you the new video workflow and creating the that for you, creating the what it could look like from a title perspective, what the thumbnail can look like, what the first 30 seconds could look like. So in theory, you should be working in this page as you're going through it. But for the sake of time, I went ahead and skipped that part. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get into the scripting phase. So you saw me click on that bottom button right there, new video template. All you have to do is click on that and it'll pre-fill what you're going to need to do to use what you're going to need to use for AI to take over. So I'm going to click on new video for all of these. We'll take this one all the way through and then we'll have the other ones kind of follow just for the sake of this example. What you actually need to buy a home in 2025, down payment, credit score, and more. Okay, so it's not the strongest title in the world, but it is a title that we can work with nonetheless. So at the scripting phase, you can script out everything line by line. If you plan to read everything line by line, no harm, no foul. You can do it, no problem. But you could also do a more of a presentation style approach where you're providing the big blocks, you're providing notes, you're providing more of the framework and template without filling in every gap in between. So I personally subscribe to that second part where I just get some bullet points and then I go off from there. But you can do it one way or the other, doesn't matter. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to video structure. All right, so just drop down if you're following along on your computer, great. If not, just make sure to go and click on that button that I showed you earlier to create this template and then hit that video structure drop down. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go back and we're going to get this first video. So we're going to say we're going to go back to ChatGPT. Remember, we're building on everything as we're going. These all seem like great topics. Yeah. As you're having questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat or raise your hand. Truth be told, I'm going to lose my voice in about 10 minutes. I've been sick lately, so I already know where this is going. So the more that you speak, the less that I have to. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to allow ChatGPT to take over and do a lot of our work. Now, right now, at the present state of AI, for video at least, this will get you 90% of the way there. You need to fill in the rest of the 10%. So I'll say that again. From the state of YouTube, right? From the state of AI right now, it'll get you 90% of the way there. You need to do the last 10%. You need to refine it, and you'll see what I mean here shortly. All right, so now, great. Remember, I'm continuing this conversation. Great. I want to create the first video topic you suggested on YouTube now. And you I'm not prompting it beyond what you're seeing on the screen right now. Can you create a YouTube script for me on that first topic? Again, I want to be super specific here. Can you create a YouTube script for me on that first topic using the following framework? And then I put those, I don't know what that's called. Is that called a colon? Semicolon? I don't know. Whatever that's called. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take this and we're using this structure and we're going to just copy and paste it. Notice that it doesn't even look formatted correctly, but we don't care. ChatGPT is too smart for us. So what we're going to do now is find out how to minimize this. Oh, wait, can you see me? I did something. Sorry. You can see my screen still, right?
Yes, we can.
It sent me in I've never seen this view before. Okay, so I'm just hopefully you can still see it. And I see that you can, but I can't see y'all anymore. So if I miss something, sorry. So I'm gonna press enter. And now what it's gonna do, it should create something very much 90% of the way there. We're gonna fill in the rest. All right, so I'll start talking through this real quick. So remember, we gave it the structure that it should be using, as opposed to it just telling us what structure to use. Now, this is a structure that we've used for thousands and thousands of videos, so it works. We've used this structure for millions and millions in GCI, so we know that it works. So you can try to recreate it, no big deal. But if you have something that's working right now for people that are closing 50, 80, 100 transactions from YouTube alone, why wouldn't we use that? It just makes sense right now. All right, so it's going to keep building, but let's talk about the framework. So we asked it for it to give us a hook. We asked for it to give us a reinforcement statement why this video is important. We asked for it to give us a table of contents of essentially what's covered in this video. And we asked for them to create a hook or an open loop on a reason for them to stay. So essentially we're giving them a line for a payoff. So we're giving the viewer a payoff for them to stay to the end. We're doing a slight promo just to share about what our what our channel is about, just to introduce yourself into the room. You're not just going to go into a room and just start talking and blah, blah, blah. At some point, you do want to share who you are, what you're doing, why you're doing it. And that's what it's designed to do. And then it goes into the points. Now, notice something super important here. We didn't tell it what to cover. We didn't say cover point one, cover point two, cover point three. And in some cases, depending on the topic, it will actually go into point four, point five, point six. But right now, we didn't tell it what to do when it comes to points. So you see here, when it comes to the hook, think you need a 20% down payment and a perfect credit score to buy your first home. Think again. That's kind of strong. I like it. I mean, it's not the strongest thing that we would come up with, but it at least gives you a really good framework. Now we're going to share why this video is important. Most first-time buyers hold off on purchasing because they think they can't afford it yet. But the truth is, you might be a lot closer than you realize. That's hella strong. That's better than what I would have come up with, actually. And then we have what's covered in this video. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly what you really need to buy a home in 2025. I'm going to cover the credit score that actually matters. I'm going to share the different types of loans and which ones require the most upfront cash. And I'm also going to share what first-time buyer programs you should look into. Now, if we don't agree with these points, this is really why I'm going through this example. If we don't agree with these points, this is where we bring our professionalism into play. This is where we bring in our actual logic into it. We didn't prompt it to use these three. We didn't prompt it to do any of that. So this is where we provide our own philosophy. This is where we provide our own logic into it. If we think that those three or four or five should be different, then we need to articulate that to it. what you actually need to buy a home in 2025. If you think that the most important thing is the down payment, as they're saying, and the credit score, and having a lower debt to income ratio, then share that, right? So here's what we're going to do. Hopefully you can still see the screen. Let me try one last time I know you can see it now, but let me stop share for a second and share it again because this layout is not good. Okay. Here we go. Okay, let's just say we don't agree with these 3 points. Brock, I'm going to put you on the spot. What are 3 things that you would suggest that we cover in a video where we're talking about what you actually need to buy a home in 2025? What are some things that you could think of?
Finding the right agent to work with, having an idea of what you want to, I guess, having a list of needs and wants for your home. And then obviously, I would say knowing what loan type to use.
I love it. Man, you had those ready.
I didn't. I pulled those out of thin air.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, so we're gonna give it some positive affirmation. Excellent. However, can we use these 3 points instead? Again, we don't have to do this, but let's treat AI like humans. I think these would be more impactful. I was going to go through the system again. It's going to delete the 3 things that it suggested. It's going to even retitle it for you to adjust to what you just gave it. And now it's how to find the right agent, how to clearly define your needs and wants, and how to pick the best loan for your situation. Notice that I use broken English here. It just absolutely demolished that. And now it goes into the points. Right. So I'll go to the rest of the structure and then we can start having more of a conversation because my voice is kind of running out. Reasons to stay to the end. And sticking around to the end, I'll show you how to download my free first-time buyer starter kit to help you organize everything. So this is where we talk about optimizing for lead generation. How many of you, and be honest, how many of you would have thought to offer something like this to generate leads? Let's be honest. Drop it in the chat. Who would have thought? Yes or no? I would have thought to include that. Let's be real here. So I've seen some of your videos and stop. No, let's just be real. Let's just be real here. I'm showing you everything as from beginning to end. Now, I myself would not have thought to offer this. I would have probably offered a list of preferred homes. That's where I automatically default to. I would not have thought to do this. Right. And many of you have access to this without even knowing it. Many of you have access to these types of templates at no cost to you through the brokers that you're part of. Many of you have this. You're 3 clicks away from creating this from scratch without it being even that difficult, right? So you could just say, awesome idea. Can you create that first time homebuyer starter kit so I can send it to them? That friction is gone. You no longer have to pay for somebody to actually create this for you. It is here right in front of you. It's just taking a little bit of time to know what to ask and actually ask it, right? Anyway, promo. Hi, I'm Jaime Resendiz, real estate agent in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I help first-time buyers feel confident, prepared, and excited to buy their first home without all the confusion and pressure. Boom. That took 8 seconds. All right, so let's start off finding the right agent. Your agent isn't just someone to open doors, they guide the entire process. You want someone who specializes in first-time buyers, communicates clearly and often, and takes time to explain each step. A great agent can help you avoid costly mistakes and make the whole thing way less stressful. You can beef this up, right? So here we go. This is my last point that I'll make because we gotta get going. Told you it was a lot. But I want for the first point, can you rewrite it and introduce a story of one of my clients. Let me see what it says so I can actually bring in a real story. Isn't they guide you through the process who helped you specialize in first time buyers, communicates clearly and often. Um, okay. One of my clients, Alyssa and Peter, who were who had tried to buy before they found me, but had given up because they were so lost, kept getting their offers rejected, and just felt overwhelmed. So I introduced a real life story, and now I'm just rewriting that point number one, right? So you can segment the part of the script that you're reworking, right? So if this worked for me, all I do is go here, I go back here, and at this point I can just replace it. I got that going. And then we're gonna pretend the promo is great. So now we're gonna go back here to see what it did for our first point. All right, so let me tell you about my clients, Alyssa and Peter. Before we ever connected, they had they okay, good. So they first started with the story right here before they actually went into the explanation on finding the right real estate agent. Right. So you can introduce the personalization at any point through the process. Sure, this was generic. You would have gotten and you will be getting something very similar once you put this into your chat GPT, but you provide your own experience. You provide your own experiences as you're going through. Lore works with a ton of investors. He could introduce something like that. Um, Dee works with a ton of clients as well. She can introduce a ton of personal stories that from clients that she has worked with in the past. Danny, same thing. Folks that are relocating to Houston that find them on Google. Della, uh, everybody here has a story. Everybody here has different ways to communicate what it is that you're sharing with the audience. It doesn't just have to be a chat GPT, um, whatever it comes up with. Right. So anyway, that's how you start mixing and matching or really improving on your script. Once you're through with the script, we're going to pretend that all those videos are ready to go. Then you have a video that you can sit down and start recording and just rattling off. In my heyday, I was recording 8 full-length videos that ended up being about 15 minutes in length. I was recording 8 videos in a day in my heyday. Right now, I've lost a step or two, but you have the opportunity to now even go faster. And for me at that point, I was Chat GPT wasn't really even something that I was had even been created at that point. What I was using was our software program that adopted GPT-3 technology before ChatGPT actually came out mainstream. So I was kind of using that to back in some information. But anyway, the point here is to batch record these videos. It could take you one sitting, it could take you multiple sittings, but now you can record this video. Once that video is ready to go, you just move it out of that phase. Once you record that video, you move it out of that phase. Once you record that one, you move it out of that phase. Now, if you're the editor in chief, great, go get and start editing once you have all your videos recorded. If you have a service, whether it's ours or anyone else's, they start editing it for you. They'll send it back to you for your review. If you have an external editing service that does it for you. And then if there's any revisions, blah, blah, blah. So distribute is when it's ready to go. So this is a way for you to stay organized. This is a way for you to create content at scale. And as you can see here, if you spend no more than the 45 minutes that we spent today and going through this, you can be ready to record 3, 5, 8 videos very, very quickly as you start getting a little bit faster. All right, so I have to stop at this point because I got to let y'all go. But questions, comments, concerns, any feedback on this, please let me know. I know I told you I was going to go fast, and I think I kind of did, but I really want to hear some feedback. if you have it. Awesome, awesome. All right, so it looks like everyone, I would say call us and we can review your situation. Awesome. For a buyer guide. Great real life world benefit. This is great. General vid question hosting. If I want to embed a video on our website, driving traffic to website via email drips, would you embed as YouTube with a playlist? I would embed as YouTube. I personally would, because then they will do suggested videos, and those videos should be mine. Thumbnail inspiration for those that struggle to visualize. I would use Chat GPT. Can you give me for this video, can you create 3 thumbnail images I can use as inspiration? All right, so it's giving us some concepts. Let's see if it'll create it like we want it to. Want me to generate any of these thumbnails visually or help you write the matching title and description? Oops. Yes, please create the thumbnails visually. Now, if you want to get really silly, this is beyond our pay grade, but since you're here, I want to honor y'all with if you honor me with your time, I want to honor you with all the secrets and the hacks that we have. What we do is we actually look at videos that are working right now. So we have the acceleration on videos from other channels, and we take those. So for those of you that are on creator agents, you actually get to benefit this already. You just don't know it. Um, we take those video concepts and then we run them through our AI stuff to break down kind of the things that are working. And then we go ahead and reintroduce them. We have our designers actually replicate videos, not replicate, create videos based off of the thumbnails that are already working. Right. So we take it one step further. We already see what's proved out to work from other channels, from other videos. We introduce our own logic, our own stuff, and then marry them together to have a little baby. And then we go and create, we have our designers create 3 different versions of the thumbnail for our agents to start split testing in their videos. But that's something that you can do. Yeah, of course, it's going to take you time and a little bit of know-how, but you could do that yourself. Now it's going to take a little bit longer, but this will at least give you a start to answer your question, Mike. This will give you a start if you want to go with ChatGPT, going to other videos that have recorded on the topic and or a similar topic to get some inspiration, and then creating thumbnails from there. Alrighty, crew, that is all I had. Unless there's any questions, I think we are good to go. Thank you so much for hopping on. I really appreciate you. Next Tuesday, we continue our video marketing series. So next Tuesday, we'll have Connor come through, Connor Murnane, and show us how to make video. This man is like a Hollywood. He never worked in Hollywood, but his videos are Hollywood-esque that will show you how to actually get on video, get there confidently, and actually make videos that people want to watch. So you're gonna want to come through next Tuesday, 10 a.m. Central. If you're not getting the notifications, just go to agentfirstsummit.com, opt in, and that's where you're gonna start getting our reminders. All right, crew. Appreciate you. Have a fantastic Tuesday. Talk to you soon.